Okay. Once again, good morning, everyone. I'm Abhi from Zyco. Today morning, we will going to know about the IPv6 features and its a complete architecture and how it can be configured. So here we start with the objectives. Objectives are the installation guide, CooVox V2 basic configurations, and telephony features and maintenance and CooVox V2 solution guide and troubleshoot guide. Just want to be know about from you guys. My voice is clear from your end. Just you can ping me on the chat side so I can understand the voice is clear. Okay. So please ping me on the chat side that the voice is clear or not. Okay. So. Uh, Okay, here we start with the container again, the CooVox V2 installation guide and CooVox V2 basic configuration and advanced telephony features and CooVox V2 maintenance side view. Also, the CooVox V2 solution guide and at the end, the troubleshooting guide. So here we start with the installation guide. In a package, you can see on the screen that you can see like IPv6 power cord, quick installation guide, antennas and warranty card and the mounting flaps. If there is a different models, so generally U80 and U100V2, as you can get the GSM and CDMA modules inside the boxes. Next. Module settings. So once you receive the devices, the module settings is understanding is so important. So what is in the module setting and how it can be configured with respect to devices. So let's understand just understand these things like the CooVox VU100 V2 and the CooVox V2 U80 is just on the left side of the column. You can see the FXO and FXS and the GSM into GSM. So the module compatibility is different with the different devices. Just understand the U80, U100 V2 and the U50 V2 and the U20 V2. So this is the compatibility, and you can see the right mark and the cross mark. So the device which will belongs from the right mark, so that telephony modules can be configured and can be compatible with the respective devices. The same combinations. In a device slot segment, you can see two slots. Basically slot 1, slot 2. So in a U100 V2 and a U80, you can see the slot which on the right side is a slot 1 and in the middle is a slot 2. So this slot combination is depend on the different modules. So U80 and the U100 V2 is a different. So you can see on this mark on the slide slot 1 E1. So E1 module for BRI for FXS module GSM CDM module can be vacant on the slot 2. So it cannot work with the S and U80. So it can, you can see the marking is yes and it compatibility. The same thing for same the same thing for the FOFX and the E1 BRI and BRI FXO and GSM and CDMA. So these are the combination you can be configure. And remember, when we are installing these devices, make sure the IPv6 cutoff from the power, so then it can be installation, and ensure the direction of the module is so properly. So it not be as it not be like a slugging or the loose connection. Otherwise, it can be not work and it may be a malfunctioning. So make sure. So comes to the jumper setting of E1 and T1. As you can see on a picture, there is a hand interpreting that the jumper setting. So this model can applicable on the U100 V2, U100 V1, and U80, and the slot 1, slot 2. The jumper position should be slave. So it is on the corner of the device. You can see the jumper. So make sure the jumper on the slave side. So you can know the marking on a PCB, that is a printed circuit board. You have a marking that is a slave and the master. So you can see. So you can set the jumper on a slave side. In the most in a in a most cases, E1 and T1 module will install on a slot 2 in CooVox. So the jumper setting you must to be ensure before installing. Same BRI module, the jumper setting is same like on a BRI module only can be installed on the slot 2. So the CooVox U80 and U100 V2 IPv6 system only. So in a BRI, we are just like a BRI module, we have a V1 and V2 devices. So the position should be the the BRI module there is be the position for V1 and V2. So you can set position accordingly, just like you can see on the screen. If you have a V1 version, then you can set V1 side of jumper this way. And if you have a V2 version, then you can set the jumper on a V2 side. This is pretty clear on the printed circuit board. There the notification of the V1 and V2. So you can set BRI module on depending on the which kind of the IPv6 CooVox series you have. It is a V1 or V2. So you can set accordingly V1 or V2 on jumper position. Once you set the jumper position, you can just make it sure it should be on the slot 2 and you install it on a slot 2. So this is the back panel of the IPv6 CooVox V2. You can see these are the modules here. You can see the modules and the position, how you can fit this screw. So just push the module in with the proper slot and just screw tight up, then it can be worked properly. Tight the screws or properly. Don't make it's loose, so it probably not be connected on the main circuit board. So it may be a chances to get a malfunctioning or not be a detection. So make sure to install the modules properly on the back side of the panel. Now we can jump over the network settings. Once you install the modules, now you need to be start with the device. So in that, for that thing, you need to be connect your WAN port with the computer and the router in a LAN port. And according to your the module configuration, you can connect the lines. So in the picture, you can see the PSN line RB are connected over here, and the computer WAN connected on here on the WAN port, and the router in the LAN port and power supply. All once you did all the connection, make sure the power on once you can connect all the cables properly. On your PC, your network address should be in the range of the 192.168.1. In the range of XX. Make sure the IP address should be in this range because CooVox IP address is started with the 192.168.1.100. Open open your browser. In the browser, you can type the IP address of CooVox V2 series. The default IP address I just mentioned at 192.168.1.100, and the port is 4 times 9. This is the port address you can mention for that. So once you enter you can see the GUI, the first login page of the GUI. So in the GUI page, you can see the username, password, and the language. So in the username and the password, the default username and the password of CooVox V2 series is admin, and the password is admin. You can also set the language as respective. So CooVox V2 series is the supporting the language in the track down, and you can select the respective languages. Once you enter the login name is admin and the password is admin. Once you enter, the system will redirect you on changing default security prompt, which comes once you enter in the CooVox V2 if you are using the default passwords and the login name. So it is recommended that you can change the default password to your own any password you like it. So once you change the then it will be routed to you on you can see in the system. In the system, you can see the management set. In the management, you can change the administrative password, operator password, and SSH password. So these three kind of the passwords, the login credential you can change. Now we can come to be a second thing and the most important, the network settings. In the network settings, the CooVox V2 supports the IPv4 and IPv6 and VLAN settings. So on a network setting, you can see it in the network setting. You can have a network profile. In the network profile, on a network profile, you can see a network. So here you can see IP4 settings, IPv4, IPv6 settings, VLAN settings. Our WAN port supports setup. You have to assign depending upon your deployment of the IPv6 where you are. It depend upon your application. So let's say we assign for the static IP. That IP is just range of your networks, the configuration IPs. So the static IP in our case assign the select the IP assignee is a static and IP address and the subnet and the gateways and primary DNS and alternate DNS. So this is now I'm changing my IP address from the default to my network IP. So it can be deployed in my network area. So same for with the LAN port, my IP address I can set with the IP address 192.168.100 and 100 and the respective subnet mask. So the IP address is like you can set in this port. Same in the IPv6 setting, you can also be a configure something, and in the VLAN setting, you must to be understood the thing what we need to be a configure in the VLAN. Uh, it, they depend upon the VLAN tagging as well. So the configuration, the networks configurations and the IPs are most important thing will be a configuration part. You must to be clear whether it's going to DHCP or the static. That is the that completely depend upon the deployment on the network area. Once you complete the network setting, now we need to be moved on module setting. The module which we all already installed that E1, T1 and the PRI. Now in module on a GUI in the software side, you must to be uh, upgrade the settings of the module in the software side. So in a software side, you just be navigate just for the E1 PRI configuration or navigate to a system and the module setting page, and you can see on a module setting page the E1 module you can install on both slot S1 and S2. So here the module type, so which the model E1 T1, so the model mode is E1 and the signaling in frame code and CRs. So these all the parameter actually you must get from your telephone provider. So it could be a different from the different locations. So in the general and the standard practice, I used to be set with the generic thing. So I suggest you can get this all parameter from your telephonic provider. Once you set this all the configuration, remember this setting you can find on the navigate. You must to find in the system page, module setting page. You can find the E1 and T1 module settings. Once you set all the parameters, you can reboot the system. And once you reboot the system and once you wake up after the login on a home page, you can see the E1 T1 module and you can see connected and alarm is up and up. So it is activated. Same for T1 PRI. Now in the same page, on the same page on system and module configuration page, module setting page, you can see the T1 PRI configuration on the model type. You can select the mode of T1 and also the same way you can get this all the telephony parameter from your telephone provider. Once you set this, you can save the configuration and reboot the IPPX systems. Once the IPPX is wake up and you have once you log in, you can see on the home page that the T1 module is connected and up and running. This is the very simple and very straightforward before going to establish the connections and using through. So it is a primary thing that you have to complete before deployment. So it should be know about the module parameters and the telephonic parameters. So all these necessary parameter you must be set. And once you set this parameter, you can save and reboot the system. The BRI configurations are same in the mod, same like system and the module configuration, you can see the PRI configuration. On the PRI, you can select the ISD and the BRI, and the protocol which actually U80 and U100 V2 can support is NT-PTP. You can see the signaling types that actually is supported by the PRI model. So it depends upon your port, which BRI just we need to be select like the 4 BRI. So which kind of the signaling type you need to be selected. So that also be provided by your telephonic provider. So you must be know about this signaling protocol, and you must be configure the respective port of the PRI. Once you configure this signaling type respect to the port in the PRI a model configuration, you must be save the configuration and reboot the IPv6. Once the IPv6 work up, you can see the signaling type and the status, and it's all run up. So it's up and running. So till now, you understand the how we can configure the E1 PRI configuration, T1 PRI configuration, and PRI configuration after hardware installing in a U100, V2, and U80. So this different kind of the modules is you can install at the respective boxes. Now we can jump to the next chapter, how to create an extension, the CooVox V2. Uh, uh, the first of all, the extensions and the extension rate is a completely uh, default from the respective boxes. So which box you have, that U80, U100, U50, and the U20, the respective the extensions are different. So the generic and the standard, the CooVox default extension range are the segregate on the different type. You can see in advanced, we can just jump over the advanced and the options. In option in the general category, you can lock it into the extension preference. So in the extensions, you can see the user extension is from 800 to 819, and that is 100 user extension, the a conference extension, IVR extension, the queue extension, ring group extension, the paging group extension, and the web extension. So these are the different extensions segregated on the different numbering level. It is a standardization we followed in the CooVox V2 section. So if you, in a range, if you need to be a change on your uh, as per your requirement, so you can change the numbering just like a user extension. If you want to be start with the different range, so you can be select the different range of the user extension. Now yes, we can select the multiple range of the extensions. So now we can jump to the how to create the extension. So you can navigate on the basic page. In the basic tab, you can click on the extension tab, and on the extension tab, you can see the page which already mentioned, like the new user, batch add, edit say selected, and the delete selected. So if you want to be edit respective extension, so you can select in the checkbox and press on the edit, so you can do the other changes in the already created extension. Okay, so so now we can how to create the extension. So there is the different way you can select the one which you want to be like a one. You want to just create a one extension that you can be a create a new user, or the batch add files. In the batch add files, you can also add the batch files in the CVS files and edit in the Excel and up and generate the extension. So this is the standard way you can be do it, or by just clicking on a new user, and you can create a single extension and you can add the extension. So as I may mention, the user extension, like from with the you start from with the 800, right? So 800 to 899, the 100 extension you can be user extension, as I mentioned in the last slide. See, this is the user extension. So now these are the user extension start from with the 800. So this is the name. Actually, you can change and modify the name and the extension and the port. Again, it depend upon the which protocol you are setting. So all this can be done through the on the edit page. So in the edit, you can type, you can click and you can change the accordingly. The next slide, we can understand how we can do it. So after clicking on the edit, you can see. So now I am creating the extension for Jarvis. So Jarvis extension number is 810. So I'm setting the Jarvis extension password also, and tile plan. So the Jarvis extension is connected with the IP phone. So it's not belongs with the analog phone. So, and again, I'm enabling the voicemail and the password also. I'm setting password also. So this is the basic configuration you must to be taking care about when we are creating the extension. So the Jarvis extension is 810, and also it is from the SIP protocol. So we assign the Jarvis extension in the SIP. Again, you can select the audio codec, which the audio codecs is if you want to be a support. So we do support the different audio codecs and the video option as well. So depending upon your requirement, you can be set. Moving on. Once I set the all the configuration, I must to be click on the save. Once I save the configuration, I must to activate all the configuration. So you can click on the active changes. Once you active changes, the active changes option, you can see on the right side of the top of the corner. So also in active changes, the applicable immediately. So you can see the Jarvis extension number is 810 and Jarvis extension. Okay, so now the Jarvis extension is created and its extension number is 10. Now, how to register that extension into the IP phone? So we took the example like on a home page of extension box, the extension of extension page. You see in the operator, under the operator page, you can see the Jarvis extension still showing us unavailable, like there is a color marking, the gray color is unavailable. So the extension is already created, but it's not activated in the IP phone. So it is not linked to that IP phone to the box IPP page. So it shows on the extension page that is unavailable. So you can see on the operator page on the box just below the home page, you can see in the operator page all the extension and its a current status. So on the current status, the Jarvis extension is unavailable. For that, we have to register that extension into Jarvis IP phone. So for standard practice, we use the CoPhone D16 IP phone. So the Jarvis has the D60 phone, D60 IP phone. So we open the IP, open the GUI of that IP phone, and in the SIP, in the white, you can select the SIP because the Jarvis IP phone protocol we selected at SIP, and then we can assign the server IP address. That IP address is actually the IPPX IP address. So we already set the IPPX address. Okay. So the server port. So which server port? This is standard server is 5060 and authentication user ID that we already set the 810 and the password is what we set in the Jarvis address 810. So the login ID and the password is what you are setting in the extension page in the CooVox V2 series. So the same you have to use it over here. The password and the login ID of that extension number. So the extension is 810. Make sure the server IP should be the same IP address of WAN port. Once you select, enable the registration and you can apply. So once all these things is saved and the configuration is done in the IP phone side, so you can open the CooVox operator page again. So now you can see in the CooVox operator page, now the Jarvis is online. So Jarvis extension is registered. So it's showing the green mark. The green mark notification is the link is clear between the box and the IP phone, so it can be useful. So this is how to register, how to create the extension, and how you can register that extension in the IP phone. So it is a simple and so easy way to do this by manually. Okay, the same way the how you can connect your analog phone if you have a FXS port on a device, so you can connect your analog phone to the FXS port respect to the port. So the analog extension, in the same way, you can go to the basic, and in the basic you can select the extension. In extension you can select the which extension you want to be analog. So you can create that extension, provide the naming convention and the extension number and the password. So once the analog extension, so in analog phone you can track down and you can select the respective port. So the port you're connected on the FXS port. So let's say you have a 4 or 2, so you can connect the respective port of FXS. Just like now we are selecting this image the port. So you can be select port 4 and just save and save the configuration and activate as same as what we have created in the Jarvis extension. This is very simple way to attach your existing analog phone system into the CooVox V2 series box with the FXS port. Now we are jumping to the phone provision features, which is a very popularly and very exciting thing that in CooVox V2 is attracted that the automatically configure the IP phones. So let's jump on this thing, how we can do it, the phone provision, the large numbers of the IP phone. So you can see on a home page in the basic advanced, in the advanced option, the uh, phone provision is a PNP setting. So you can just enable setting and the WAN. So once you select this, which interface you want to be phone provision feature should be activated. So you can select the enable and the interface. So once you select the interface on a phone setting, on a phone on a PNP setting, you can enable these two parameters. So once you've done, you can now jump to on a phone setting. On a phone setting, on a phone setting, you can create a new on a new tab, new phone button, just like a new phone button, enable the checkbox. This is the checkbox, and then over here is a new phone setting. So you can after the click, this window will be open. So this new window, you can see the enable checkbox. You can enable, and you can select the IP phone manufacturer. So CooVox V2 supports the different IP phone manufacturing. In the example, we took the example of the we took the example of the Zyco IP phone, D360. So the MAC address or the whatever the MAC address you have to be mention again the extension number. You can be select and the label it. Once you save, you can save it. So after saving this all the configuration file in the CooVox V2 will be downloaded in IP phones. It be connected on the LAN. So once you select once you did this thing, and once you're done with this thing, once you connect your IP phone on the same network, so the CooVox V2 intelligence system can be installed that all the configuration file into IP phone immediately. So this is a very pretty simple and straightforward. If you have a n number of IP phone, you can be deploy in the field. Just be providing the IP phone range. So you no need to be go to the open the IP phone configuration page and do this all the necessary things. So from the CooVox V2, by using a phone provision features, you can do so easily. So it's kind of the plug and play configuration. It's quite easy. So till now, you understand how to create the extension in the CooVox V2 and how you can register that extension in the IP phone. Again, how to configure the analog phone in the CooVox V2 and the phone the provision features. These four things you understand. Okay, now we can to be the code part about outbound configurations in CooVox V2. So the inbound and outbound configuration. So first we jump outbound configuration steps. So there are these steps which actually we followed how we can create the outbound configuration just step by step. So first, you must be create a trunk and define the dial plan, and assign the dial plan to the extension, which extension you want to be used for outbound. You want to be a permission that the call, there can be a call from that extension should be allowed to be outbound. Okay. Now we will understand how we can be create the trunks in the CooVox V2. First, in the CooVox V2, in the basic, under the basic tab, you can create a click on the trunks. In the trunks, you can select the respective model. So now, for this example, we have FXO and the GSM. So in the FXO port, in a, in a FXO in a FXO port, the channel, which line you have to select in the FXO port. So the FXO port, we have two lines. Now for this example, we have only two FXO ports. So out of two, we can select the port one, and again you can provide the description and the line and the prefix. This is for the Apex support. In the GSM, if suppose you have a GSM module and the GSM module is installed, so the same way in the GSM segment, you can find the GSM and you can click on the GSM slot. On which slot you have. So you have a one GSM or a GSM segment. So it depend upon the which kind of model you have. So once you be the select, and these all the telephony parameters. So this is the standard practice with the standardized the generic parameter in all the settings of these GSM and the EXO ports. So it's again a different region. There's a different requirements and the different the protocol and their the signaling type. So you can select accordingly. You can go through your telephony and you can ask them about this all the parameters. Once you select once you select all the ports and the parameter, you can save on, and you can set the all the configuration and the save and activate the settings. This is about the FXO and the GSM port. So I guess you understand how you can be activate that particular trunk in the line segment, that whether it is FXO or the GSM. In a picture you can understand this is the FXO. So you can select the respective line. So just like for the port one, we have selected the one. So it means the line the line which is connected on physically on the port one of the FXO. So we already selected one port. So it should be on a line one. So it should be on the port one of FXO on a physical connection. Okay, so after we are safe, you can setting. You done with this setting. So okay, now before we understand how we can create a FXO and the GSM trunk, so now we can go to how to configure wipe trunk. So in the wipe trunk, you can click on the on a new trunk, and you can select the trunk of the description. You can provide the description, and also you can also which which SIP the protocol which belongs to use that trunk. So that I'm using a SIP, so you can use the whatever your configuration you want to do. So again, the host IP address and the port. So it is important that all the parameters that you can ask your SIP provider what is the port number and what they are the host name. So you can provide their host name and the port number. Again, you can ask they will provide you the username and all the credentials, that is the username and the password and the login name. So you can apply that all here. So authentication and the password and the username. So all these parameter you must be know from your SIP provider. Once you know about, so you can select the respective codec for the audio and the video. Once you did, you can click on the save button and activate the white trunk. Same in a E1 T1 trunk, you can see in a E1 T1 trunk on same on the basic in the trunk basic in the trunk tab you can see the E1 and T1. So E1 T1 you can select the description and which the channel the select the channel from the checkbox and and uh, and all these parameter you must to be get from the telephony provider and also specify the caller ID here and the prefix which you want to be create the prefix in this. So it is very simple. But just remember the channel which you are going to select. You must to be know about this the channel configuration from the telephony provider. So it can be provided by all the information by the channel provider. Generally, it is a standard, so it is from the 31, see the 1 to 31, 30. These are the standards. So you can ask this the telephony provider. Then click on the save button here and activate the changes. Same way, the BRI trunk, you can create a new BRI, provide the description and select the channel. So, so there are the two channels of the each BRI port. So if you have a four BRI port, so each having the two ports, so the total channel capacity is 8. Remember, guys, this is the important that the four BRI has 8 channels. So you can create across the channels. So the total channels are 8 from the 4 BRI port. So again, the same thing, you can provide the prefix and the caller ID as you preferred, and all these parameter you need to be get from your telephony provider. So once you set this parameter, you can click on the save and activate the changes. So your BRI trunk will be active. So this is now till now we understand how to create the trunks. Now we need to jump on the dial rule. How we can create the dial rule. So in a dial rule is you can select in the basic you can see outbound routes. So in the outbound routes you must be create dial rule. In the dial rule segment, you can create a new dial rule. So my dial rule is outbound. For outbound, I can set it. So pin set. Again, it's a pin set. It's just like a password. You can set the pin set, and you can create the call duration. Again, you can be put on some limitation on the call duration and the time rule. So again, the time rule is applicable that the outbound call should be go through the particular time segment. So it again we can go through it in the next a couple of the slides so you can understand how can we achieve the time rule. So for now, the dial rule, in the dial rule segments, you can select the trunk which we already created the trunks. In the trunk page here, we already created the trunks, different trunks, that is from the FXO, GSM, or VoIP, or it is whether it is a BRI, or whether it is a T1 or E1, or the trunks, the different trunks, what we already created. Okay, so you can select the respective trunks and available trunks, so you can select from this place. Once you select the trunks, then the provide the custom pattern. So the custom pattern is respective trunk. If you dial the 9, so it 9xx. So for an example, in the 9xx, xs means the number of starting with the 9 and the followed by the 4 or the more 4 digits numbers. The prefix is used determine which way trunk and trunks to be placed the call. And after the number has been dialed, the IPP system will be strip it before the placing a call over the preferred trunk. So once you provide the customs pattern, just like for the 9xs, so the 9xs will be go through the FX or the GSM. So 9 is the represent and then the number. So this way you can create the dial rule for the different trunks, and the respective dial rule you can pattern provide the pattern, the dial pattern for that respective. Once you create the dial rule, you save. So once you completed your dial rule, now the dial rule should be set with the dial plans. So the same way you can in the basic configuration outbound routes, and this is the dial plan. So now in the dial plan you can provide the dial plan name. So in there we can have a default dial plan name 1, and as we created the dial rule is outbound. So outbound call should be internally callings, just like a select the respective internally calling rule for the external call. So the calling rules again comes in. It is a ring group, call queue, a paging intercom, IVR, conference extension design, and the spy. It's all we can. So after 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 this setting all this the configuration by checking off the on the select tab here, so you can select the respective group. Okay, so once you create the group, you can select the functionality, you can save, and so now your dial plan name is the dial plan 1 here. So now you can go to the extension page, here, and in the edit tab you can the dial plan. So here so here I'm just open the extension in the edit page. In the extension plan, in a dial plan we can select the dial plan rule. So this dial plan is applicable for extension 200. So this dial plan can be call call to the outbound call with the dial plan which already settings. So respective dial plan you can be a select for the STD, like the ISD call. For ISD I can set a ISD or STD call, so I can create a different dial plan respective from the different trunks. So this way you can be a create the dial rule, dial plan, and then assign the dial plan to the respective extension. So now till now you understand how to create a different types of trunk. You learn about the dial rule and dial plan, how to create a dial rule, and how incorporate with the dial plan, and how apply the dial plan for the extension, and how outbound call in the IPPBX. So now, till now we understand the outbound call. Now, what is the inbound call? When the call is land on the IPPBX, what it be feature and how it can be handled. So let's say let's understand this image. Sorry, let's understand the picture. In a trunk, whatever the trunk you have, that is a Y or GSM, FX, and even at the PRI, the call will be aligned on the trunk is arrived. So the IPPB in the architecture wise, you can understand the feature set. So where should be a call line? So once the call reach over here, where it should be go to the IVR, fax, time rule, these are voicemail, extension, call queue, conference, paging group, and the ring group. So the destination, it again you need to be defined what the destination you want to be go through. Okay. So for we started with the IVR and IVR prompt. So in IVR prompt, we must to understand how we can be go through the IVR prompt and how we can record the IVR prompt. Let's just your calling to the any other office or the customer care on your phone. So generally you can hear the automated and the recorded voice that you have to dial 102. So this is the uh, IVR. So you must to record the voice that can be used for your IVR prompt, just like it is maybe a welcome note or maybe it is a close time, just like the office is closed or office opening time, the working time is blah blah blah, and this is the sales cells number for 1 or 0 or 2 or whatever it is. So you must to be record this. So how to record this? It is there is a two-way. Okay. So in an inbound control page, you can see in the inbound control page, you can click on the IVR prompt. In the IVR prompt, there are the two ways you can do that. So you can record the IVR by just click on uh, just just by pick up your receiver and the record. So so in this segment, but, I mean, the the voice can be recorded by a two-way, just like by recording by a extension. Just you can record the audio from the extension by hanging up a receiver and the record the voice. So let's say the IVR prompt here, the new IVR, and you can select the IVR record, voice record. So the file name is you are providing the hobby servers, and the format, the file, the audio file format is the JSON. So from which extension you want to record. So I'm selected the extension 401, and once I create the once I click on the record, once I click on the record, your 401 extension will be ringing, and you can pick up the phone and you can record the voice. So once you record the voice, it will be then you can put on the phone, cut the phone. So the file will be created in the name of hobby servers. So this is the one way. The second way, you can upload your file in a system directly. So you can see the upload the IVR's voice. So you can browse, you can select the file and the click on the upload. So on the upload type, you can upload the file. That is a IVR prompt, the where welcome or close or whatever the record respect to your users, so you can record it. Same way now, Now you already record the voice and everything. So now you have to configure the IVR. So IVR min. Let's say your for and inbound control, you can have IVR. So before you already create the IVR prompt, now you assign the IVR. So once you record the audio for the IVR, you can now the configure your IVR menu, just clicking on the new IVR button to add an IVR menu. So in a welcome message setting, you can select the prompt message as IVR name. So see, understand this thing. We already created the IVR prompt is office hours. So we already created. So that you have to say select. So in this example, we created office hour. So if you want to create like a office close time or office operating time or holiday, you can say like the respective IVR file here, right? Remember, this is you must to be select here. Again, you can create a loop, repeat time. It again the repeat that audio can be or repeat again 2 or 3 or one time. That again you have to be say select and the timeout also. And also you can be a provided extension, dial extension. If whether in the after the IVR you can be a provide the dial extension, then you can be a create. You can check on the dial or the extension. So dial or other extension, go to the extension of the 401. So 401 will be goes to the then again go to the group of cells queue for 30. So like this you can be create the ex the the call will be a line through and the go through the that particular extension. Just understand the example here. We already mentioned the example. If you have a sales ring group and the call queue is a 401, that is the operator and the secretary extension, then the IVR should most be properly. Thanks for your calling XX company. Dial 1 for sales, dial 2 for support, and speak to the operator plus 0. So this is how the IVR can be work. And can easily can be a configure in the CooVox video. Now we can jump on the time-based rule CooVox video IPPBX. The This is the time rule. See, understand the why the time rule is necessary. The time rule is based on the timing that can be applicable to be like just like the office hour closing or holiday you have or like your office hour timing. So the time-based rule is a very important features in the respective of the IPPP. So CooVox V2 provide the time-based rule is so properly you can understand this is the time rules based segment. In a time-based rule, we have a time-based rules, the time-based setting and the holiday setting. So first, in a same way, in a inbound control, you can select time-based rule. So in the time-based rule, you can select the holiday settings. So let's say in example, we created a New Year holiday. So New Year holiday will be start with this month to the end of the next year. So we have created and the start date and the end date and the time. Once you provide your start date and the end date of the holiday and the start date time and the end date time. So once you save that file will be created, that rule will be created as name as a New Year holiday. Same way, the time setting. So your office time. So now your office time from the Sunday, from the Sunday to next Saturday. So the office hour. So on a Monday to Friday or Saturday, what is the time of your office? So you can select the start time and the end time. The start time, you can, as you selected the start time, so you can see the start time and the end time, and your lunch break, and you can mention your save. So once you save, you can click on. Once you've done this, the timing, you can save this setting by the clicking on the save tab. So in a time-based rule, now the lunchtime. The time-based rule, you can select rule for the inbound call if the inbound call is matching a given time rule for the call will be routed to the selected destination, and if not, the set the any other destination. So the lunchtime. So in a lunchtime, so in a lunchtime, you can select the lunchtime is the office time, and the destination. If the time is matched, then the destination is extension 800, and if does the time not match, it will be line to the on the 801. So same way you can select the lunchtime segment. So the this example for the lunchtime. So now in the working time, you also you put like a working time, so you can set the time rule, the office time, and if it is whether it is a match, then it will be go to this extension. The extension is from the reception or IVR. So the IVR it will be line. So if it is not matched, then it will be go to the properly other extension. Again, the holiday setting. So the holiday, if it is a holiday setting, so you can enable the holiday, and in the holiday settings, you can also mention the destination. When it is the holiday, then you can mention the destination of the extension. So once you're done, you can be save and click on. So this is a very pretty simple and very easy way to do this time-based configuration. So now inbound route, just like an inbound route, you can be a configure all inbound call from the respective trunk to the destination. So you can choose the destination as per the requirement. For example, we require, for example, we can select the go to IVR. Go to IVR with the office hours. So destination. So we can see the trunk from FXO and the GSM, the destination, the IVR, the call when we land, when the call is land on the GSM or FX port, that will be go to the IVR. So the timing channel. So time is setting already selected to office hours. So the destination is a go to the IVR. So if the call is land in office time, let's say for office time is morning 9 to evening 5, so the call will be go to the IVR. In the IVR menu, the will be select the respective uh, uh, extension with just reading a 0 or 1 in the IVR prompt, what we recorded in an IVR prompt. So same, same. So from VIP channel is also be the same. You can be a select. So this way you can do that. So so you can also configure the port DID, that is a port DID, number DID, and the DID setting. But out of the out of them, the port DID and the number DID has a higher. So this port DID and number DID has a higher priority. Higher priority. So you understand how you can be create this port this the landing of the call using port DID, number DID, and DOT settings. So in an inbound configuration, record the audio for IVR menu, configure IVR menu using a recorded voice and how the caller can dial the respective extension number. And then you also understand how to configure the time-based rule and how to configure the inbound route for the port number or DoD numbers. So this way you can do the inbound configuration. So now we are jumping to the advanced telephony features. So in advanced telephony features in the CooVox 2. Okay. Moving on advanced telephony feature. Call queue. The call queue in advanced telephony feature, you can see in advanced control, you can see the call queue. Inbound control, you can see a call queue. So the call queue. The call queue is a place incoming call in a line to be answered while the extension user are busy with the other calls. The queued call are distributed to the next available extension user in order to receive the call. So the first understand the thing how we can achieve the call queue. The call queue can be achieved with the configure the extension with enabling an agent. So see, in a basic, you can extension in an extension, you can edit the extension, you can click on the extension page on, you can also select the agent. In the agent, you can select the agent checkbox. Once you select the agent text a checkbox, you can come to the inbound control. In inbound control, you can see the call queue. Once you click on the call queue, the call queue number, which already the call queue extension number is for the support, is from the support. So once the call is enabled, once the call is aligned and once it's in the call queue, so you can select the queue extension number. So you can select the agents, number of the agents. And respect to that, you can also configure the queue option, how much be the time and audio of the lap time or ringing time, and the max caller on that a particular extension. So respect, we select this configuration. Once you all this done, you can save and activate the changes. So this is the important features of the call queue, which can only enable, understand, it can be, call queue can enable through the extension. From the extension page, you can edit tab, you can select the agent, you can check right on the agent tab. So once you do this in the extension page, you can go to the call queue and you can see that extension is now as facilitated with the call queue option. So that somebody is a call on that number, so it can be a call queue. Ring group. This is the very important thing. The ring group creates a single extension. So the ring group creates a single extension number when user dial the ring group number in order to ring extension belongs from the ring group. So you can see when the call reach on the ring group extension, the number then all the extension in the ring group will be the ring. Okay, so it may be a ring all or ring in order. So like available channel in the ring group members. So ring group members are these and the available channel. So you can select the respects to extension. So select the extension and move them into the ring group. And if the call if the call is not served, then you can redirect the selected option to the let's say if the call is This is the ring group extension. If someone is called on the extension will be ringing. If call is not handled by any one extension, then you can select the option available. If call is not answered, you can select. So if whether it is go to the other extension or the voicemail or go to the ring group again or go to the IVR or hang up. So this way you can configure. Then it again will depend upon the which ring group you're assigning. For my level, I'm assigning a cells. So cells, these all the extensions are, and and from if no one is there, a call on this ring group, so the call will be routed to the other extension or voicemail, what I have configured. Now we can come to the next point. Blacklist and DND. The blacklist functionality allow you to have a list of the numbers that will be a blacklist by CooVox V2. So we can be select the numbers in the blacklist. So in a inbound control, you can go to the blacklist. In the blacklist, you can be provide the numbers of the extension or whatever the number you have want to be a blacklist. So you can save this way. So in the blacklist, new blacklist, and new blacklist, you can select new blacklist and the number and press on the same. Same with the DND. DND is do not disturb. When this functionality enable, then the call will not be an incoming call will be ignored on a particular extension. So same way, inbound control, you can select the DND, do not disturb, and send the new DND. You can say select in the new DND. You can select the extension which you want to be DND. You can also do this by just you are using a features code. But this is from you can do from the GUI. Okay. So you understand the blacklist and DND feature. Move on. Moving on the next on the smart DID flowchart. So the outbound scheme and the inbound scheme, you can understand how you can escape the IVR if the call get missed. So let's go through it. So the smart DID, how you can be a configure the smart DID. In advanced, you can see in the advanced tab, you can click on the smart DID. The smarter DID features, you can select pattern, strip, and fold. So, let's understand the principle of how it works. So when the client missed the call from the agent of CooVox V2 IPPX system, whether that she or he tried to the ring back, the smart DID feature can route this call to the agent who had the call him or her directly without going to IVR. So skipping this step. So how the smart DID can be worked if you got let's say your extension is 801 and you got a call and somehow it got a missed and you find so you can be a dial. So what it is keeping the IVR or the other prompt which already incorporate you have to be a go to. So you can skipping that prompt and you can directly dial that call, reach to that extension directly. So for that you have to do the advanced of the smart DID section in the enable check on the enable box and the smart DID functionality. So you already enable the box here. The smarter DID you can enable and save. Provide a pattern number format which would be a dial. So you can also provide this strip that you want to be removed from your dial tone. In a present add extension prefix before the writing the asterisk data. If the outgoing call and the incoming call number are the same, the strip and the prevent option are not needed to be configured. Remember, if the outbound and inbound call number are the same, then strip repent option are not needed. This is the important thing. Then once you're done with this, you can click on the save tab and then you can move on. So your smart DID is activated and configured. SMPT settings. Why SMPT setting? SMPT settings is used for with the voicemail and the fax to email features. So you need to be a defined. See, for the SMPT settings in advance, you can go to SMPT setting. You can provide the SMPT server name, port, SSLT or TCLT, SMPT, and the username and the password. So for this example, we have a GSM SMPT Gmail SMPT, then the setting is SMPT smt.gmail.com. The port, and if that Gmail server with the protocol using SSL and the TLSL, you can say select respective and provide the username, that is the email address, and the password and the save. This is actually used for the voicemail. You are sending a voicemail to on the, your email as sent to email, fax to email features. So this is the important thing. Virtual fax. The virtual fax is same like the advanced. You can select the virtual fax. The CooVox IPPX system has the ability to auto detect the incoming fax and send the received fax to the user email. So what we did in the SMPT settings, we are configured the Gmail account with the SMPT, right? So now let's say we receive the fax on the FX support that we receive the fax. So how we can do this configuration for CooVox V2? So it is pretty simple. See, in the virtual fax, you can go to the trunk in a in a in a basic basic. You can find create trunks. In the create trunks, you can edit your existing trunks. So see, we have a FXO port. So in a FXO port on a line one, port one, I must to select the auto detection auto fax detection tab. So if I click on the checkbox, so I have to in just ahead, you can drag down the menu and you can select the respective extension or the voice virtual fax. So respect to the extension, you can be say select. So in that case, we are selecting 200. So this way you can select the fax detection. So understand the first important thing, how you can configure the fax is landed on your IPPX or the FX support. So you can check, you can go to the create trunks. Already you have created a FXO trunk for your port one. That is belongs from the BSNL, is a local the company provider, telephony company provider name you already mentioned, and then you can provide you can say selected already selected the port number, FXO port number. In that, when you're going down, you can see auto fax detection option. You can select auto fax detection option, and you can select the respective fax should be received on which extension. So you can select and save that. So understand this fact, this selected extension, maybe it is a virtual fax or the extension specified by email address. Uh, so that the email which you mentioned, that will be go to the your email address. So, so in a virtual fax, you can see how you can do to send to send a fax. You must do the first logging in the CooVox V2 IPPBX web interface with the extension number. Listen, you can log in with the uh, uh, you can log in into CooVox IPPBX using the extension number, and then voicemail password. Use your voicemail password. Before that, enable the extension config page. See, in the extension configuration page, you can find the web management tab, and you can enable the web management tab. Then, you can open your browser, and you can just logging into IPv6 using your extension number in the voicemail password. Once you log in there, you can see you can send the fax. How you can do that. So once you log in with the extension number using your voicemail on a GUI, the same fax. So enter your fax number, the fax number you want to send it. You can select the file which you want to send it. You can select from it and upload. Once you did, you can send the fax from your IPv6. From your IPv6, the extension which you are already giving the permission of the web extension. Understand this thing. Web extension you must to be enable in your configuration page of extension. In an extension, you can select the appropriate extension and press on edit, and you can voicemail working principle. The voicemail allow now we are enter into the voicemail, so we can understand how we can achieve the voicemail. So in the advanced segment, in the voicemail, you can go to the voicemail, and the voicemail reference this all the parameter we will be a jump. You can understand how it works. So voicemail allow the caller to leave the message for the subscriber, your user extension, the subscriber user extension of the IPPBX system when they are unable to answer the incoming call. So generally, you are calling to someone, and the auto recognize the IVR started that the blah blah person is not available. Please record your voicemail. So press 0, then the record the voicemail. So once you record the voicemail, that will be delivered to your email. So how it can be achieved? In a voicemail reference, you can set the voicemail message duration with dial 0, and the operator is unable to transfer the operator. So this was what I mentioned you before. Sorry. So this setting you have to do in the voicemail. So see, the voicemail reference, the maximum getting time is the 30 seconds. You can be record the time of from the 30 seconds exactly. So you can record the maximum time of the 30 seconds. The dial 0 for the operator if you are unable, and the voicemail option like the file format is the wave, and maximum message on the voice is 100, and the maximum message time 2, and minimum time 2. So the message caller ID or duration. This is be the playback option you can be select. Okay. So now understand to send the receive voice email, to send the receive voice message to user email box. Once you receive the, you need to be configure the SMPT support email format and specify the email address for the extension user. So how you can do actually? Okay, here we go. In a voice to email working principle, send a receive voice email message to user email box. You need to configure SMPT support email format and specify the email address for the extension user. So how you can do that? So in the first step, you can go to the advanced. In the advanced, you can go to the voice mail in email settings. So this is the email settings. See, the email settings in the email setting page, you can define the email content that will be sent to the extension user email box. So how see now you already mentioned the email address, how you can be how that email address can be activated. So go to the your extension, edit your extension on a edit page of extension. You can see email fax option here. So email, how you can just be a provide your email address that belongs to that extension. So you, let's say the extension 401 has the email address blah 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 at gmail.com. So this email address is used to be an extension. So if user extension 408 receive a new voicemail message, then the IPv6 system will send this voicemail to that configured email address. So in the example, you get example address gmail.com. Once the receive any the voice message, that voice message will be go to that particularly email address, which is the configuration, which is the configured in the configuration settings of extension. So the format should be like this. So you must be create the format of this select the message type and the Gmail from which our server types to be sent. So you can configure the email. Okay. The DISA, the direct invert. Now we can jump on the next feature. It's called a DISA. The direct invert system allows and the outside of caller to dial directly into APP system and access the system features and the facility remotely. So it is so easy. For example, like we have a remote extension, and that remote extension is outbound the features, and they want to be used some to call somewhere from just like you have an IP extension on your decks, and you want to use to call, let's say, the overseas, you want to call international calls. You must be a dial a particular number, and then you can use that international call facility. So this is the same way. You can just just go to the advanced option, and in the DISA option, you can select the edit on the new DISA. You can say mention the purpose of that these are just an example. We mentioned in the international, we also set the international pin set. So pin set also and the response time and the digit time. So extension of the DISA is a 500. Once I dial the 500 DISA, then and for the 500 extension, that will be called line in the DISA and with the dial plan. So let's say I want to be a call to the international call. So I will create the dial plan according to the trunk that the call will be outbound out through to my IPP base with the dial plan of which I am assigned. For dial plan, so for this example, I have a dial plan one which has the extension 500. So let's say I dial the 500, that will be from my extension 401. I have extension 40801. I will dial 500. That will be my DISA. extension no number from 500, and first I will dial the 500, then I will dial the international number. So that will be go through the my outbound call. So this is how the this can go. Follow me. The follow me. Okay, we now jump to the next point. The follow me, the feature. Understand how it works. The follow me allows you to redirect the call that is a place to one of your extension to any other number if not answered. The call ring for each certain ring of time, and then the ring some other extension number. Let's say, for example, take an example like you have a sales group, and the sales group have a 5 extension. If the call will be aligned on the any extension from the sales group and it not an answer, so it will be redirect to the another extension. So it will be continued to the fifth extension, and once the fifth extension not get receive the call, then the call will be redirected to the another just like a voicemail or somewhere. Okay, so for how we can achieve this? So in the advanced option, you can see in the advanced option, you can select the follow me option. In the follow me option, you can create a new or edit. In that, you can mention the extension number 200. Ring type is a 20-second. So you can select the first extension number and then how much time. So select the extension number which will be a configure with the follow me. Okay. The format, the number and time. The number is one of the number to be follow the call. 2, and the time is depend how much long how much time that the number should be ring. Okay, you can select the follow me option as per your requirement. Click on the save and save button. Again, it is a follow me option. So follow me option are there the different type of the option like a follow me the call like like I can say a playback, or you want to add on something, so you can select the particular option. So once you're done, you can save and accept follow. This is the follow. Call forward. The call forward, understand the feature. The call features is allow the call to extension to be automatically forward to the specified internal extension or the external phone number. How you can achieve this? So in that, you can go to the advanced option, and advanced option you can do the call forward. In the call forward, you can enable the call forward option, set the voice. So you can select the voice here. With the prompt, you have to select the call forward prompt, save. In a call forward new record, you can extension from 801 that always will be called to the call to the if not answered, it will be go to the GSM. This is the mobile phone number. So this will if the call is not answered, it will be forward to this outside from the out of IPP, so it will be going to external phone number. So call will be forward to the external. It always, if not, it always like always option is means if any call will be land over this extension, it will always forward to this number. If the option is busy is selected, it means 801 is busy, then the call will be forward to this number. If the call is not answered, not forward on this number. So this way you can do the call forward. One number extension. This is also the one of the important feature. How it works and how it is. It's principle. One number station is feature can put the server extension number in same group. A main number can be selected from the member, and when an incoming call in the main to the main number, it will ring all the numbers extension including the main number. So how you can achieve this? You can go to the advanced. The advanced, you can select the one number station. In the one number station, ONG, you can all the extension, you can just select all the extension, and out of all the extension, you can select the main extension from the main group. So let's say 200. The main extension is drop down in the cell select, and you can select the extension. So once you ring the group, all call will be ring. So this is the one number extension. And then you can save button. This is the features list. Okay, now moving on the page and intercom. In a paging and the intercom is used to set up an extension number that your user can dial in order to place an intercom call to multiple phones on your system at the same time. To select the paging group, for that you have to do advance in paging and intercom. Let's say paging extension, I have selected 660, and these are the device name. So select the group number from the device list and enabling a duplicate. So you can select all the extensions. So the paging. So once so once I dial the number of the 660, so I can be up paging that the intercom that all the receiver can be hear my voice. So in let's say if I click on the duplex, the communication can be of both ways. So it will be like just like a conference. If I select the duplex, it works like a conference. Somehow a conference among the this call. Okay. Moving on the regulations, how we can achieve the call recording. The principle is the call recording uh, provide the ability to force to be record or not record based on the call flow and the overriding all the call recording settings. So how you can achieve the call setting, call recording. In the call recording, you can go to the advanced in the call recording. Uh, Click on the new recording. You can create this select the extension which you already created. So respective extension, you can say select that the call whichever the line on that extension or outgoing call or incoming call can be recorded. So see in the option you can select a particular extension and the call recording time. If it is always a recording, so you know it to be configured to start and the end that time is always recorded. And the call recording setting is may depend on your requirement. The call should be inbound call record or outbound call. So you can say select respective. It's very straightforward how to do this recording. Once you've done this, you can save on the time. Okay, one touch record working principle is the touch the recording, also known as the one touch recording on the dial. From your extension, you can dial the star when call is when call is activated. You can the let's say the call is activated, so you can dial from your IP extension. You can dial a star one, so the call will get recorded. And you can also hear the recording. You can see the recording. You can go to the report and the list one touch recording page. You can see the recorded voice. Spy. Spy is a call allow user to dial the purchase code followed by the extension number and the list of the extension. For example, you provide a number of the star 90 in the normal spy, and you will dial the extension number star 90401. The spy ID is star 90, then the extension number. Then you can listen their conversion. However, then either this speaker will be able. So if suppose the one of the communication is going to be between the two parties, and if you want to be hear their voice, so you can dial the star 90 plus the extension of that particular extension number. So you can hear their communication without your interruption. That the audio is from your side is blocked. The voice you cannot get off. So there are the three types of the normal pipe, whisper pipe, and the Parker pipe. So you can do it this way. Web extension. The web extension, the principle how it works. The web extension is a new feature using the WebRTC technology. You can use any web browser that can be support a WebRTC to the register extension number to your CooVox V2 IPv6 system without any plugins. So how you can be achieve this? You can go to the advanced. In advanced web extension, you can provide the name, the extension number, the password of outbound CID, and the dial plan which you want. So once you did this, the web extension, the web extension is enabled on that particular extension, and you can log in with that extension on your browser. Moving on next, CooVox maintenance. On the maintenance side in the CooVox we can see the data storage, how we can be achieved, the backup, and also we can see upgrade. So come to the backup section. In a backup, in a data storage, the data storage allow you to upload your recording log file and the voice file, the voice message to upload it your FTP server. So basically, what you need to be you can go to go to the report section in the system, and you can upload whatever the file which you recorded. So you can provide FTP server details and the storage data. So CooVox to automatically storage the recording in USB device when they are connected on USB port. So let's say if you connected your USB flash on the USB port, the back panel of the CooVox V2, then the data and this automatically stored in your USB stick. The backup, you see, in the system, you can go to the backup section. Why it is important, the backup? The backup is all about the system configuration extension, which you already created and all this. So generally in the practice, you can take care about the backup. You can, once you done done the configuration, all this stuff, so you can also take the backup. So how you can do that in the system, in the backup, navigate for the system in the backup, take take the backup. You can click on the backup button. The file which will be contains all the system configuration. By restoring, so let's say you want to restore the backup which you already took. So you can click on the restore button. So once you restore the button, the CooVox V2 will be take all the configuration which you already take in the restore tab. So same again, you can be a download that particular the backup files in your system, your desktop, so you can store at your local drive, and the same file you can upload through the upload tab. So you can be click on the tab and upload that backup and restore and reboot the system. So the system will be start with your previous configuration which you already stored. This is the backup. Is important thing when you want to do some system level high changes. So you must be take into mind to take the backup on your local drive, which is very important. Second, reset and the reboot. See, there are the two kind of the reset and the reboot. The reset, which is normally the factory reset with the configuration. So the reset, before going to reset, you can take a backup of your configurations. So the system took a configuration you can store into the backup section, and then when you started with the factory default setting, which called a reset, then automatically after the reset, the IP address will be if you click on the keep the current network setting. So the next time after the factory reset, it will be your IP address will be same as the before IP address what you already set on the WAN port. But if you select if you not select this checkbox, then the default IP address is 192.168.1.199 port. The username in the password is the same as the admin and admin. If you not select the network setting. So keep in the mind after the factory reset, if you not select your existing network setting, the IP address is a default IP address with 192.168.1.100 with the 99 with the username and the password is admin. This is the factory reset. The reboot, you just reboot your in the reboot section. You just reboot the IPv6. This is see this is the soft reboot. This is the command fire from the soft side. There is again the reboot. You can do a reset is by your hardware in the a panel of the IPv6. You can find the knob reset, so you can keep on the knob. So you can press the reset button and turn on the device. Then release the button after the 6 to 8 until the system LED goes off. So if you can press this switch for 6 to 8 seconds, then the system will go into reset mode. Upgrade. In upgrade, you have the CooVox V2 new firmware. So now, how you can be upgrade through the into your IPv6. So the two way you can do by a web upgrade, or you can just use a FTP server. So generally you can be a download the firmware from the Zyco portal and enter the and extract the package first, and after remember keep in the mind that the firmware name is uname -md5 and .xss whatever the version of that firmware, and then you can upgrade the IPv6. So you can use a TFTP server and then upgrade and select the browse and select the file of a firmware file from the browser and upgrade and upload the file. So this way you can upgrade your IPv6 with the new firmware. This is what we understand in the maintenance of IPv6 of CooVox V2. Now we are moving to a solution, CooVox V2 solution guide. Okay, in the CooVox V2 solution guide, it's just like add-on things. So CooVox V2 supports the co bill and the co-call. The co-bill is just for the billing software which is installed on your system, and the co-call is like a smartphone app. For that, how you can be enable the co-bill is for that you have to go to the system. In system, you can click on the add-ons. In add-ons, you can click on the billing enable, and you after that you can download this. So after you need to be a contact with the psycho cells who will be issue you issue with the permit license for the COBIL, and then after installing the COBIL in your system, you can activate it with the upload with the license which is provided by a Zyco team. You can upload the license from this. This is the license for COBIL. Understand this thing. The license for COBIL software, not for IPP based. This is license applicable for COBIL, which will be provided by a Zyco. Once you download, once you email them to ask them to about to provide the license. Okay. And COBIL as you need to be enable this service, then the COBIL will be activated and test mode. So after the how you can do the configuration of COBIL. Now you can bring your extension with you anywhere by using a COBIL, Zyco COBIL software app. So the download a COBIL app respective on a respective platform, whether it is Android and ISO, and install it. So then open the COBIL app, and you can provide the primary IP address, the secondary IP address, and the username and your extension number and the password. Once you did, you can select and save the configuration. COBIL for the IP phone works only with the TCP transmission, so enable the protocol from TCP plus UDP extension. Tap on the register button and register the COBIL application, and ready to call the display on tap on the register. EP should be have an internet facility, otherwise it will not show the ready, dial to ready. Okay, this is the most useful features and the most useful application along with the CooVox V2C. Now we can connect. Now we can move on the second application. You can say solution. Connect your remote telephony system with the CooVox V2. For that remote extension, you need to be go through the advanced. In advanced, you can go in the option and option, and you can see the settings. So how you can be achieve this? Okay, so step one, configure port and NAT. How you can do that? Forward the respective protocol port on your router. Say we are configure the port SIP 5060 and IX. For example, we are using a SIP. TCP port is 5060 and RTP is 100.1210500. So we are using RTP is 5061. So this is my TL port. So how we can this is my external IP. So you can configure remote extension by using a NAT support. Navigate in the advanced the option in the SIP setting. So you can enable a NAT sub. So these are these setting which is mandatory to do in a NAT segment if you are going to configure your remote extension by using a NAT. The NAT support section is specify your public IP and the local network address. So this is your public IP. That is a public IP. You have to setting in your SIP settings and your local address, local network address. This is the step one. The step two. Let's say the Harry is taking the example in the step two. Harry is located at Toronto, and we have extension 201. Now you need to be register his extension IPPX details in the IP phone. So now see Harry is located at Toronto. So now his IP phone, his GUI of IP phone is this. So you can just provide the server IP, the server IP which you already configured here. The server IP is your public IP of IPPX. You already configured. You must be able to provide the Harris IP phone GUI, that is a server IP, port number, the extension number, and the password of that extension and enabled. Remember, this IP phone must be land on the internet on a network, the main network. So once you connect this IP phone will be linked. So you save, once you save the button, then you can almost see the important thing. Once you configure the IP phone settings and in the IP phone, then you can see on a GUI of IPPX, the remote extension is enabled with the Harry. See, this is Harry's extension 206 and is activated. Now, operator page, you can see the operator page of the CooVox V2. You can see the Harry's extension 206. So this way you can register the extension. Connect your remote office you using a CooVox V2 IPPX system together. Let's say you have a 3 or 4 branch office. Let's say branch office A, branch office B, branch office B, C, and D. So these 4 office you can be come together in the single network. How you can achieve this? Taking an example, remote office. CooVox V2 configure a configuration of office A. So the office side A, we can need to be configured the same way we have to forward the port and the RTP. So how you can be do in the same way, the advanced in an option you can go to the SIP setting and you can provide the public IP address of IPv6 and also the local network address and the forward reports. Once you did this setting in the Office A Office A IPPX, second in a CooVox V2 configure Office A site, create a SIP trunk on a Office A IPPX, and this will be used to be a connect of the other IPPX and enable the peer mode. So see, you must be create a one wipe trunk. In a wipe trunk, you enable the peer mode. See, the peer mode. You must be check on this peer mode is enabled. See, this is the Office A wipe trunk I have created, and so I'm creating my own trunk. So my trunk, and I also providing a password. So I also need to be enable the NAT. Remember, we have to enable a NAT setting in there. So once you enable the NAT setting, so you can save and you can create the trunks. For that particular trunk, you need to be create a dial plan as well, dial rule as well. So create a dial rule for Office A IPPX system. The dial rule is dedicated to call Office B. So this dial rule is used to be a call for the Office B. Make sure the dial pattern is different from other dial rule within this IPPX system. Enable the dial rule and dial plan and assign the dial plan to the extension of Office A IPPX. So once you create the dial plan, the dial rule should be the different from the other dial rule in the same IPv6. It not be a different. I mean, the same. Uh, you cannot be configure the dial rule as the same as as what you have before in the same IPv6. It must be a different dial rule. Once you create the dial rule, you can assign the dial plan for that particular IPv6, which is used for the call to the IPv6 B, the another office you have IPv6. You can use this dial plan to call and assign that dial plan to the extension to the office of A, the extension from the office of A that they can call to the office B using from that extension. So you can do it by the same way. It is simple. This is all the settings comes into Office A side. Okay. Now we need to get jump on the Office B. In the Office B side, CooVox V2, you have to create the trunk. Remember that trunk should be create a new that you have to mention the name of that Office B trunk, the seat. And here you no need to be clear, select the peer. You must to be provide the uh, public IP of Office A IPv6. Okay, so you have created the Office A IPv6. You must to be provide the IPv6 Office A IP address and the port. And then you also use the same the username and the password, and you can save it. So the created the dial rule for the Office B system. This dial rule is the dedicated to the call Office A. Enable the dial rule and dial plan and assign the dial plan to the extension. Please make both IPv6 are the different extension range. If there are the same extension number on the both sides, the internal branch call will be failed. So remember this thing. The extension range should be a different. Let's say the extension range for the Office A is 100 to 199 from this range from the Office A side, so the Office B should not be same. It should be different from 200 to the 299. So like this, you can create the extension and the dial plan. So once you have created this thing and save this setting in the white trunk in the status page, you can see the white trunk is connected. See, you can find this info on a home page of IPv6 of CooVox V2. So you can see the host name and type and its reachability, username, this type and the trunk one, trunk two. So you can understand this now. So this is where you can be understand. Now we can be moved to the CTMS. The CTMS is the one of the software which is deployed on the Zyco. We can be integrate the CTMS through the different IPv6 in the same network. So you can understand this CTMS. We have already provided all the information about the CTMS on our Zyco portal. You can go through it and understand how it works. Yeah, the CTMS is a very powerful tool to be manage the different IPv6 from the Zyco IPv6 series. So UC Pro is designed to make optimize the telephonic this system on the operator side. So it is so easy. It is a software based on your desktop, so you can manage all the call management on the software. So it is so easy to be manipulated the call search and the call forwarding or the call redirecting, search the address book and a combination between the office and the remote mobiles. So you can manage all these things using a UC Pro. You can find all the details about the UC Pro on the Psycho web portal as well. So coming on the next topic, that is connect the legacy PABX with the CooVox V2 and making an inbound and outbound call. You can compare a legacy PBX with the CooVox V2 by just providing a FX and FXS port connection and create a respective trunk dial rule and dial plan in a CooVox V2, assign them to the extension. So when all the integration done and all extension is reachable each other in the same network. So let's say this is the legacy PABX. We can consider Panasonic TB800 and the series. So we have the analog extension and the IP phone. So the IP phone is connected over the IP phone range. So we can create the dial code and the extensions and like that can be reached through this FXO port to the FXO port of the FXS port of the legacy PBX, and you can register this. So this analog to digital and the digital to analog can be in the same network. So this can be reachable through using the phone. So uh, to simply to say that the CooVox V2 can be adapted with the legacy piece. So easily you can be created with the extensions and all the trunks and all the extensions together. Configure different gateway with the CooVox V2 IP PDX. In the picture, you can see the CooVox V2 is where connected to the VIP gateway and the different from GSM, FXS, and the SIP phone. So you can be create the different. It is so easy and it configure your gateway with the CooVox V2. This so it is so easy to be do the configuration so easily. Okay, in the troubleshoot guide, now we are moving to the troubleshoot guide. So how you can the troubleshoot. So in the CooVox V2, we have two tools. That is a ping and the traceout. You can find these tools on the system in the troubleshooting page. You can find the ping, traceout, TCP dump, and the channel monitor. So in the ping segment, you can also provide the ping, the IP address and the number of the packet and the run. So you can get the response on there. So you can see on the screen on the GUI, you can get a received number of the packet as you mentioned over here, and you can start and the stop. So you can understand that the particular IP is reachable or not. The same way, the tracer you can have to provide the trace of the IP and run. So when run, you can get a trace out. Okay. The TCP dump is actually the TCP dump can be followed on the two uh, you're captured on the two channels that are WAN or LAN. So you know once you select the WAN, so you start with the select the respective capture trace on the adapted list. The maximum duration is 5 minutes. It will be automatically stop after the 5 minutes. After the capture stop, the captured new window will be a pop-up. You can save the captured data in the local drive for your analysis. Same for the channel monitor. You can do a channel monitor, say FX on the FX support. You can select the respective port and see. You can understand how it be the is there any problem of the FX or FX port. So analyze the capture packet and the monitor channel field. Then start to the capture will be a being, and you can you can stop immediately after the capture. So you can analyze the what the data is going on that port by using a channel monitor. The system lock. See, in the whole IPPBX system, there are so different kind of locks, just like enable the system lock PBXC. For that, you have to go to the report. In report, you can see a system lock. In the system lock, you can enable the system lock tab, enable the PBX lock, and also you can PBX debug log and access log. So you can save this, and you can also download this through the you can say select these logs, and you can also download these logs also. So you can do this by analysis, and you can also delete the log, this system log, which is actually used. Why this log is used for? If there is any critical issues or going to the remote site, so Psychocells team will get this log, and they can find the root cause of the issues by using the log. If they cannot access the device remotely. So it is a easy way to debug on offline. So it is that's why this log is very important when the system in the critical issues. So this is whole the this is all about the IPPX troubleshooting, and uh, how you can achieve the troubleshooting by yourself, and how what kind of the major issues we have seen in the practical scenario in a from our client side. So this we already mentioned in this so you already share these slides with some clients, so I will put on the slides, or our op- a portal, and our sales team also can be sending these slides, so you can go to the troubleshoot point. So for now, yeah, I have completed all the training points in the slides. Okay, so once I just remind you, we covered the installation guide. We covered the basic configuration and advanced telephonic options, maintenance options, and the solutions. The solution which how you can use the codes V2 for the different applications you already see in the solution guide, and the troubleshoot code, how you can debug and how you can go find the root cause. So this is the all the topics we covered in the CooVox V2 training program. Okay, here now, I'm in with these the training program. We have a next 10 minute on the questions and answer. If you have any kind of the questions, you can just send me over the chat, and we can discuss on this in next 10 minutes. Thank you everyone for the catching. Thank you. Or else you can send me an email, or support at psycho.com if you have any kind of the question related to the IPP based configuration, installation, and the maintenance, or any kind of the proper question you not have been be clear till now in the training program. You can email us. We will be address your all the question immediately. Let's we can have the technical discussion of the questions, so we can discuss about any doubt you have. As I know, the as I mentioned that our sales team will be share this technical slides with all the clients. So will you please be a contact with our sales department? We will share these technical slides with among of the clients in users. For FTP, for taking a backup, FTP cannot be done by the automatically. You must to be must to be logging into the system and be do the backup thing is automatically. It cannot be take the backup automatically. I repeat again, any kind of the questions you have, you don't understand the things or you don't understand the functionality and any kind of the features, you still not be clear in the future, you need to be help from the Psycho. Please drop us the email and the support at the Psycho. We are always available to support you, to guide you how to use the our IPv6 system for your Our system will be shared with you all the technical slides shortly. So please get in touch with our sales team. Thank you all for joining CooVox V2 training program. I really appreciate for your time and your concerns and your questions. For in future, you have any kind of the questions related to IPP's configuration and the deployment and any issues, please contact with our support team and the sales team. We are always available for your help. Thank you so much. My name is Abhi. I'm gladly thank from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. Have a great day.